Welcome everybody to Rampage Games, and today we're going to be talking about the new wet palette from Army Painter. So for the last year or so I've been using this Army Painter wet palette, the little one, and this has been perfectly serviceable. It's done a really good job. I've even used the top as a dry palette, but we've had an opportunity to stock these, so I think it's about time we actually look at and compare the new and the old. So as you can see by the back, we're going to get 50 Hydro Sheets, 2 Hydrofoam, which is the same sort of design and style as the small Army Painter wet palette. We've got our lid, our dry palette, which I'm really looking forward to, and then obviously our base for our wet palette. So without further ado, let's get it open. So obviously you get all your Army Painter paraphernalia, and we're just going to put that to one side. And now we're going to have a look at the actual main palette. So as you can see, it's already a lot bigger than our existing wet palette. So you get your 2 Hydrofoams and then 50 sheets, so I'll just put those to one side, and then we'll get into the actual wet palette itself. And this is just huge. We'll just do a quick side by side. I'll get rid of the Army Painter straps quickly. There is your size comparison. So let's have a look inside. So we've got the strap to help us keep it all secure. Lid pops off, and then you have your dry palette here. Now this is quite stuck together, which is really useful. So you've got your wet palette on the bottom, and then we've got this giant dry palette. Now I don't necessarily use the Army Painter brushes, but it does fit my Rosemary & Co ones without, even with the lid, which makes that really cool. We've got loads of deep reservoirs. I've got some Pro Acryl here just to try and put on. We can just put it straight in that dry palette slot. There we go, we can see nice deep reservoirs there. Let's just compare that to the size of our little insert tray. So we've got loads and loads of things. So I can use my Pro Acryls, I can use my speed paints. Really impressive there on the size. Setting up our wet palette is going to be really easy. All we've got to do is grab a Hydrofoam sheet, and these are, I assume they're going to be able to get them from Army Painter. They're not currently up on the website for me to order, but nice big sheet. I'm going to get some clean water and just pour it straight in. Here we go. Using a lot of water. Okay. Now this is really cool compared to the old one, because the actual old one you get is typically a little bit smaller on the edges, but this is super snug around the edges. And all I've got to do is grab one of my giant Hydrofoam sheets, palette paper, and again, just to help get the sense of size difference, and there is our wet palette set up. Nice and simple, nice and easy. And then this goes in really snugly to create a nice tight seal with our lid, which is different again to the little one here, where it's just a little bit loose and snug, but this is super snug, and I'm already getting paint on it. There we go. Army Painter wet palette, my new favourite toy.